Hey guys, no, this video is not sponsored by Chick-fil-A, although that would be amazing. But it's been so long since I've made one of these videos, and I'm so happy to be back. Wow, this is surreal. Also, just want to thank each and every one of you guys who have listened or supported me by listening to my music. On and On had dropped in October, I believe, and it's got over 100 streams, which I know that doesn't seem like a lot, and it isn't, but to me, that's like the most amount of streams I've ever gotten on a song. And man, making that song was just so much fun, being in the studio with Johnny, Robert, Mykel, and Kane. It's been such a blessing to see how well that song's been doing, so thank you guys. But today, I want to be showing you how I made the beat for Same Way, which is out today, funny enough. Yeah, I think it would be super cool just to dive into the deconstruction, how I made everything, and I'd love for you guys to see how I did that. Sweet. So here's the project file. It says everything from the beat to the vocals. Up here we have the melody. Now this is just a simple loop that I found from Somatics. Came with like a piano, pad, pluck, vocal, chops, percussion loop, and even some bass. Now I added drums over it, and then obviously we have Mykel's vocals down here. So the cool thing about this song is this is the first time that I've ever engineered a song. So I produced everything, and then obviously I had Mykel record everything on his end and then send everything over to me, and I put it all together, and it was really fun because I've learned so much. Now, this isn't actually the beat that I'm gonna be deconstructing with you guys today. It is the beat, but when I open up just the beat file, you're gonna see how different this is, because here you have a lot of cuts. You have a lot of, how do I say it? A lot of arrangements going on, right? We got the vocals over everything. So of course there's going to be certain parts that change. Like I rendered out some hi-hats, snares, and claps for this section right here. You heard that throughout the chorus, here and there. And overall, this was a really fun experience, and I hope I get to do this again. So let me bring you over to the beat, and then we can go through everything. Awesome. Here is the beat file. Now, obviously, this looks much different than what the song file actually looks like. And traditionally, whenever I'm making beats, I try to stick to a format. For instance, the first 16 bars right here, this is just the intro for the beat. And then this traditionally, the next the next 16 bars would be the hook or chorus. All of this would be the verse, and then it just repeats right here. First 16 bars would be the hook or chorus, and then another verse. And traditionally what I would do is I would add another, a hook just to make it longer or sound fuller. But since this BPM is 119 and that's pretty slow for hip hop, it would have come out to be like over a 4-minute beat, which obviously I just wasn't trying to go for. Now anyways, what I want to talk about here is a sound selection. So I got my loop from Somatics. Not sponsored by Somatics, would be great if I was, but this is where you can find 100% royalty-free, professionally made loops for many different genres. Doesn't matter what you're trying to make, they pretty much have everything. Now, first off with this beat, after I found the sample, I start off with the clap. Now this is what the clap sounds like. It's on the 3 and 7, and it's a pretty low-end clap compared to other claps, which have a lot more high-end in them, but that's also just how the sample came, and I'm not a big fan of finding samples and having to edit them. It's just a bunch of time wasted in my opinion. But anyways, so after the clap, I went into the hi-hat, and I wanted to match the same vibe pretty much. So I didn't go for a hi-hat with a lot of high-end, just a hi-hat with some high-end but more mids to lows. I felt like that would have been great. Great sound selection should match one another, but it shouldn't clash with the beat. Now, that's what I felt like I did a good job with this beat in particular with, is because none of this sounds like it's actually clashing with one another. Anyways, then I went to the snares. So I like to add 2 different snares in my beats if I can. So here's the first snare. And then here's the second snare. And then I just wanted to accompany everything with some percussion, which all sounds like this when you put it together. And then, of course, you can't forget about the hi-hats. And then all the drums sound together like this, including the kick and the 808. So anyways, with all of the drums laid out, with the melody completely structured now, I was able to throw all of Mykel's vocals onto this song, mix it, master it, do what I had to do to get it out, submit it to DistroKid to distribute it on different platforms, whatever it looked like. And I'm just so happy and excited that this song is finally out. Again, it's been a whole year, honestly. We made the beat in January 2025. Now it's out January 2026. And I believe he recorded this song around February or March. I think February, actually. But it was so much fun making this beat and just making this song. It's been one of my favorite songs by him and I for such a long time. So I'm super excited for you guys to take a listen. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And yeah, here's the beat.